Hello everybody, welcome back. My name's Mamiya and today we're going to be checking out some more Halls of Torment. So, in last episode, in case you missed it, we played as the swordsman and we were using an ability called Arcane Splinters, and basically what that was, it was an AoE ability that you throw out what look like kind of ninja stars, like blue glowing ninja stars, and we got several upgrades. So when the ninja stars, after a certain amount of time, they'd explode into smaller ninja stars and pierce enemies, and they'd stay in that area and deal damage over time if an enemy stayed within the area of the stars. And oh my god, it was so good for taking out huge amounts of enemies at once, all the fodder. And then if we got close to bosses, it would melt bosses. But yeah, if that sounds like something you're into, then do go check out my previous video. But for today, I think so we got a choice. We can either go for the cleric, let's see, or the archer. So let's look at the archer first. So for some reason, when you pick a character, it doesn't come up with their information. Like you can't hover over the character that you are, since I just clicked on the cleric. So we'll have a read of the archer, see if that sounds like something we're into, and then we'll have a look at the cleric. So the archer has base health 400, base defense of 10. Let's compare that to the swordsman. So 100 less health and 10 less defense than the swordsman. No block strength, where the swordsman has 10 block strength. Same amount of regen, 1 a second. 5.5 meters per second. Movement speed, so a little bit faster. They are a fast hero with high crit chance and multi-strike values, and they get base damage on their bow, piercing on their bow, movement speed, and crit chance on a level up. Okay. And their bow is a physical projectile that fires 3 arrows in a fan in the direction aimed. For 50 damage. Let's compare it to the Zweihander. It does half as much damage as the Zweihander. 33% crit chance as opposed to 20% crit chance. Way more crit bonus. So 200% as opposed to 65%. 0.05 attack speed a second. So a little bit faster than the Zweihander. But it doesn't have any knockback. It has 3 projectiles and piercing force. Right. The cleric has base health of 400, so less than the swordsman. No base defense, no block strength. Same amount of regen. Slower than either of the other characters. They weaken enemy and has high regen values. Okay, so kind of like tanky, I'm thinking. Each level you get +5 base damage, 0.002 a second attacks. Okay, so really low attack speed increase on the level up, 0.5% damage and 0.5% regen. And their weapon is the Holy Scepter, deals magic damage in a cone, equally split among all hit foes. Interesting. And the damage is 1,000. How does that compare? Oh, way more powerful than the Zweihander and more powerful than the bow. 20% crit chance, 100% crit bonus, 0.66 attacks per second, 1 multi-strike, and 20 knockback force. You know what? We had kind of an AoE build last time, so I think we're going to stick with the archer and try going crit chance, multi-hits, you know, on-hit effects. And we have 8 grand to spend. So I reckon we'll get another bit of movement speed. We'll definitely get some health regen and damage. Ooh, range do we want? Nah, I think we just stick with damage here. So that's plus 20% damage now. Area doesn't seem like a thing for the ranger. We probably want pickup range, but what's more important, get an attack range or pickup range? I think probably attack range is where we want to go there. Right, we got that. And then here is the achievements, but that just unlocks stuff like gold and crap. Should we go into stage 2 and check that out? Or do we want to do a comparison with stage 1? Because I think the Ember Grounds is going to be a step up from the Haunted Caverns. I tell you what, while we're doing the first runs on each character, we'll stick with the first stage, and then we'll go on to other stages as we do subsequent runs. We'll see how we're feeling. Oh, hello. Okay, I like that. It's like a spread shot. Okay, so not what I was expecting when I said I didn't want to do AoE. And the base of this character, I guess all characters kind of have base AoE attacks. Do we want more range? 0.2 a second base health regen. 30 base health. I'm not entirely sure what the arrows mean. So this has like an up arrow next to it, and this is like a northeasterly arrow. I reckon we just go attack speed. Attack speed seems to work pretty well. 6% attack speed. Tell you what I'm going to do as well. I'm just going to pop the volume down a wee bit. Yeah, that's about right. Just so I'm not drowned out by the sound of the game. Strength 1 is 10% damage. Parry plus 3 base block strength. Ruthlessness is 10% crit bonus. Let's move the mouse out of the way. And Swift Feet is 0.3 movement meters a second base movement speed. We have a 33% chance to crit. Now, is that worth it? Or should we just go damage? Let's just go damage for now. What we want to be doing is heading straight towards the skill, which is the little bit of parchment to the bottom right of the screen highlighted in yellow. That usually gives us like more of an idea of where we want to be heading in terms of picking up skills when we level up. So I'm hoping that each class has their own unique abilities that they can get. More movement speed, more base health, more base block, or 10% crit chance. So at the moment, our crit chance is 33%. I think it'll bump it up to 36%. Yeah. I reckon we go for crit chance here. And then we'll see. 37%. Yeah. Okay, so that worked. Sweet. If we can be critting all the time, that's going to be great, because we have a really high base crit multiplier. I believe it was 200% for this character. Which is kind of wild. Try and kite the enemies through the fire. Should help thin the pack a little bit. 6% area. Well, we don't really do area attacks, so that's pointless. 10% range. 3% base defense or 10% force. Force improves different parameters depending on the weapon skill ability. Please check their stats to learn what is affected by force. Don't know. Piercing. Okay. So getting more force increases piercing, but we've got 3 piercing at the moment. So 10%, I don't think that's going to do anything for us right now. So I don't think there's any point in taking that. Let's just get base defense. That's something that this character was lacking. Ooh, we got a buff. Looks like it's just like a rage buff where we constantly attack quicker as well. We're getting oh so close to the skill. Then we can start farming some mobs. Make sure we keep away from these jellies. Do you know what? I'll kill a few of them now. Just try and get a level. Oh. Okay. We got 2 elites on us. Yeah. So with that information, I'm gonna run away. We could probably safely kite the elites. But really, you just want to head straight for the ability. The skill scroll. Or I'm not entirely sure what they call it in this game. But it gives you a new move in your arsenal. Ooh, that'd be nice. Dedication 1 gives 10% regen and 10% health. Strength 2 gives 10% damage. Thick Kite 2 gives +3 base defense. And Vanguard 1 gives 10% range. Let's just go for damage. Strength 2 again. And we level up. Channeling gives 10% force. Ruthlessness 1 gives 10% crit bonus. Dedication gives movement speed. And Thick Kite 2 gives 3 base defense. Let's get some crit bonus. Crit bonus is crit damage. Oh no. It looks like you don't get new abilities for characters. Okay, maybe we have to unlock those. Well, we had arcane splinters last time, so let's go for lightning strike. Strike random enemies with lightning and stuns enemies around the target. Hit enemies, get inflicted with spark. A little bit of passive damage. Never did anyone no harm. Weapon proficiency 1 pierce, plus 20% damage with the main weapon, 10% force main weapon. Dedication 1 gives 10% regen and 10% health. Parry 1 gives +3 block strength. Proficient stance gives 10% attack speed and 5% movement speed. You know what? I think we'll go for attack speed. The more times we're firing our bow, the higher the chance for crits. Which means a higher DPS. Probably more than just getting a straight damage buff would do, I like to think. Okay. We got arcane splinters. Shoots short-range projectiles in a vertical spread pattern. Projectiles remain for a short while dealing damage to enemies that touch them. So we had this last time. Phantom Needles fires needles at random nearby enemies in quick succession. Multi-strike increases fire rate. I believe we have multi-strike as this character. Ring blades throws alternating blades left and right. Like boomerangs, they pass you and fly off screen. Multi-strike increases their frequency. I think we'll go for Phantom Needles this time. See how we do with that. Ooh. That's a funky animation. Ah. And we're getting hit. Just the way them jellies move. We could get another ability here. How about we get the ring blades? Or, I think we can deny that and get 50% XP. That's what it says in the top right. But, for now, since we get doing multi-strike stuff, we'll get the ring blades. Ruthlessness gets 10% crit bonus. Lightning Strike 1 gets 10% crit chance and 10% area radius on the ability. Ring Blades 1 gets 20% crit chance. Let's get crit chance and area radius on the lightning strikes, I think. Definitely want more health regen, I think. We need to be a wee bit more tanky. Movement speed, damage on the main weapon, 10% force, 6% area, or 6% attack speed. Let's get damage on the main weapon here. Trying to figure out when the best point in the run would be to start going into movement speed, because it's definitely something that you want. Because bosses charge, yeah, there's quite a few charging enemies. Phantom Needles get 10% attack speed. Vitality 1 gives 30 base health. Swift Feet gives base movement speed. And Quick Hands 2 gives attack speed. Let's get our base movement speed going. We got a load of XP around us. Ran straight into that skelly then. Right, 10% range, 6% attack speed, plus 3 base defense and 6% area. I think we'll go for attack speed. If we can be spamming shots, then that'll be a bloody good. Oh yeah, that's so much XP. 20% pickup range, 10% force, 6% area, 3% base defense. I'm going for defense again. 6% area, 20% pickup range, 25% damage, and 5% cone size, or 10% attack speed on the Phantom Needles. Let's get attack speed on Phantom Needles. I'm not a massive fan of the blades, to be honest. Maybe it was just the build that we did previously, but they seemed a little bit weak. More base movement speed, 10 regen and 10% health. 20% pickup range. Let's get regen and health now. We'll spec into a bit of survivability. We are like pretty much one-shotting almost all enemies, so at the moment feeling relatively safe. 6% area, 0.5% movement speed. Okay. Weapon proficiency, damage and force on the main weapon, or ring blades, 1 giving crit chance. Let's go for movement speed. I want to be speedy. The less we have to worry about fast enemies, the better. Thick Hide 2 for plus 3 base defense. Lightning Strike 2 for crit chance and area radius on the lightning strikes. We got 20% damage on the Phantom Needles, or 10% attack speed on the lightning strikes. Okay, the other one is attack speed, which is down there. I think we want to go attack speed on the lightning, because it stuns enemies. The AoE stuns enemies, so that'll be super useful for us. The more we can get, the more lightning bolts we can get on the screen at once, the better. Really help us get through big waves of enemies. We got ring blades for 25% damage and 5% cone size, 20% crit bonus and 10% crit chance on the main weapon, 20% damage on needles, or 20% pickup range. Let's get crit bonus and crit chance on our main weapon. It's the first boss. The Imp Lord. Oh, stay out of the purple. We're doing alright so far. We are way faster than him, so we don't need to really worry about getting hit. We're doing decent damage. Bye-bye, Bozo. Iron Ring gives 15 base damage. Blood-soaked shirt on kill, 5% chance of +1 HP. Each kill charges it, increasing damage with diminishing returns. Or wooden ring for 50% crit chance. Oh, well. As much as I'd love the blood-soaked shirt, it is incredibly good to get that healing. I'm going to go for the crit chance ring. And let's see. Let's see our stats now. 59% crit chance. We want to get that up to 100%. Speaking of, 10% crit chance here. We could get 3 base block strength, 20% damage, and 6% attack speed. I think I'm going to go for the crit chance. Ain't nothing but crits. Uh, 20% pickup range, 20% damage on the Phantom Needles, 3 base block strength, and 3 base defense. Let's get damage on Phantom Needles. Feel like that's a good shout. They're firing quickly enough. Vision stands 2, 10% attack speed and 5% movement speed. 3 base block strength, 20% base health regen or 10% damage. Let's get attack speed and movement speed. We're somewhat speccing into them already. We want to head north towards that weird little symbol is a magnet in this game. 10% multi-strike adds extra projectiles or attacks. Partial attacks and projectiles are added and executed after a certain amount of attacks. I do like the sound of that. Going into multi-strike. We could get more crit chance. +3 base defense, 6% attack speed. Yeah, I think we're going for multi-strike. It won't give us anything right now. Oh wait, it did. We're firing four arrows every now and again. Watch, you'll see it. That's still 3. I think that was 4. Every few shots we fire out 4 arrows rather than 3. Pretty decent. Guided by the wind. Increase your movement speed to 8 meters a second. Oh lord. 6% attack speed, 3 base block strength, ring blades, 25% damage and 5% cone size, or +3 base defense. We're going attack speed again. Oh, so much XP. 30 base health, 6% area, 10% range. You know we're going for the movement speed here. We want to be zooming. 10% damage, 10% force, 0.3 meters a second base movement speed, and 20% pickup range. I'm just going to take the damage. We got the movement speed in the previous level up, so I don't feel like we need to immediately take another movement speed buff, especially when there's damage on offer. That magnet's still going. We're getting swarmed by skellies. Oh, that was a terrible choice of positioning there. 20% crit bonus and 10% crit chance on the main weapon. 20% pickup range, 10% crit chance, or 6% area. I think we'll go for weapon proficiency. For more damage and more crit chance on our main weapon. I'm pretty sure all we're doing is critting. We are getting some numbers that appear not to be crits. And we don't want that. Just picking up any XP that's left on the ground. There appears to be a lot of it. All that juicy XP. 20% damage on the Phantom Needles. 10% regen and 10% health. 6% area, 20% pickup range. Let's get more health and regen. We want to be able to tank a few hits and recover from those hits. Just slinking our way between enemies. Oh, we got hit there. Not sure what. It must have been a ranged projectile. We're going to have so much XP on the ground for this magnet to pick up when we eventually get to it. I tell you, it's going to be wild. Here's... We're changing waves. That's where all the enemies went. The skeletons had just had enough with us. Proficient stance 3, 10% attack speed and 5% movement speed. Long fingers for 20% pickup range. Ring blades getting 25% damage and 5% cone size. And phantom needles for 20% damage. I think we go attack speed and movement speed again. We kind of want to max that out, I would say. Will be a speedy gal, maybe? I'm not entirely sure if what gender the archer is. Could go either way. Unless they have a name somewhere, but I have not seen names. Ring blades, 25% damage, 5% cone size, 6% area on collateral damage, 10% crit bonus or 10% force. I think 10% crit bonus is just 10% extra damage. Really, since we're mainly critting. This elite's taking a beating. Oh, it was just the shield we were taking down. Okay. Do we want either of these? I think getting either of these will dilute the pool of abilities a bit too much, so I think I'm just going to get the XP. You'll be compensating with half your current XP bar. 558 XP. Yeah, that's pretty much a level. 10% crit chance. 10% force, 30 base health, 10% range. Let's get more crit chance. And we got a magnet, so we don't need to move towards the other magnet quite so quickly. We can start killing stuff nearby. 6% attack speed, 20% damage on our phantom needles, 20% crit chance on our ring blades, or 10% crit bonus. Let's get more crit bonus. 10% crit chance, 25% damage, and 5% cone size on our ring blades, just straight up 10% damage, or 20% damage on our phantom needles. Let's just get 10% damage. We are getting hit. Maybe we should get base regen here. We got 6% attack speed, 6% area, 0.2 health a second base regen, or base movement speed. Yeah, I'm gonna get health regen. I'm feeling it. We are absolutely spamming these arrows. Holy moly. 6% attack speed, 20% damage, 20% pickup range, and 10% force. I think we go for attack speed again. Acquire the trait Quick Hands 4. At the moment, I think we just farm guys until there's a ton of XP on the ground, then we can go up towards the magnet. +3 base block strength, 20% pickup range, 10% force, or 20% damage on the phantom needles. Let's bump up the Phantom Needles so we can get upgrades on it. See what the upgrades do. That's the upgrades on the... Oh, I can't remember what it was called. The ability we had yesterday. One of the abilities, the shuriken type ability, made them explode into smaller shurikens. Phantom Needles 4 just increases attack rate by 10%. We've got 10% range, 6% area, and 10% force. I think we just go attack speed on the Phantom Needles here. Okay. Right. Sorry about that, guys. Cutting the video there. Had to let my dog out. Where were we? Just smashing face. Lightning Strikes 3 for 10% attack speed on it. 10% range, base health regen, and 20% pickup range. Let's get attack speed on the Lightning Strikes. Get Lightning Strikes to rank 3 to be able to select ability upgrades. Ooh. I'm looking forward to seeing what the ability upgrades are for the Lightning. I'm hoping for madness. Here we go. Explosive strikes. When a lightning strike deals a crit hit, it causes an explosion that deals fire damage based on the strike's strength. That fits our build real well. Or Phantom Rift. When needles disappear, deals magic damage in an area. Damage increases for each remaining piercing count multiplied by damage and crit bonus. Oh, they both work really well. I think we'll go for explosive strikes though. And 10% range, 6% area, 10% crit bonus, or 25% damage, and 5% cone size just on the ring blades. We'll get crit bonus, since that applies to everything. And the lightning should, in theory, be critting. Not at the same rate as our bow, but still. Oh, 10% crit chance and 10% area. Just what we were looking for. Or we could get flat 10% crit chance. Let's see. 21% crit chance on the lightning strikes. We got 72% crit chance. Okay. I reckon we'll go for applies to main character and all abilities. Is it better to just get 10% crit chance here rather than on the specific lightning? No, let's get it on the lightning, see if we can't upgrade it some more. Get that area up as well. There was an explosion, did you see that? Every now and again you see the lightning explode into fire. Right, we're heading up to the magnet now. Crit 5,000 times in one run. We're going at crit crazy. Oh, health potion. I absolutely would love that. Oh, 2. How generous of you, game. Right. Here comes boss number 2. Just as we get a magnet and all that XP. Ring blades 1. We're kind of avoiding ring blades, to be honest. 25% damage and 5% cone size, 20% pickup range, 6% area, and 3 base block. Do you know what? We'll finally go into ring blades. Let's get them. Why not? Lightning strikes for extra crit chance and area radius. Ring blades for blade size and damage. Base health regen and pickup range. Let's get more crit chance on our lightning. Oh, so many levels. Base health regen, base defense, 20% damage on phantom needles, and 20% pickup range. Let's get Phantom Needles going. Base health regen, base defense, base crit chance, or pickup range. We'll go for the crit chance here. We'll be on 100% crit chance, I bet, at some point, at least for our bow. And the speed we have is so good for bosses. Oh, we got another magnet. Okay. Ring blades too fast. 12% attack speed, 5% cone size. Or 10% blade size, 15% damage. 10% force, 10% range. I think we want blade size and damage. That's probably the best. Uh-oh. Okay. They actually rinsed us there. On hit with physical damage, 20% chance to spawn a shockwave, dealing 40% of the original damage in a 3.1 meter radius. We had this on a run previously, so it's very good, but I don't know if I want to take it. We got 50% crit bonus and hood, 10 base defense, 10% movement speed. We're going for the copper ring for the crit bonus. Crit chance and crit bonus. I think we're one-shotting most things. Deals 750,000 damage with the lightning strikes. Shabby indeed. I think we got to go for health regen here. The movement speed's nice, the range not so much, and the base health is sort of meh. But healing is always good. We got runners coming at us now. See the red skeletons with spears? They just dive bomb you, basically. Finding them a lot easier to deal with on the archer, I must say. 10% force, 10% blade size, and 15% damage on the ring blades. 20% pickup range or 10% range. Let's get more big blades. Just mowing enemies down. Feeling pretty good about our situation. These crits are absolutely popping. 10% range, 30 base health, 3 base defense, or base health regen. You know what? I'm gonna get base defense this time. Just because if we get hit, we'll take less damage if we have base defense. Ooh, okay. Shielding guys are troublesome indeed. They're harder to take down because they have 2 health bars essentially. They have the health bar of the shield and their own health bar. But I think if you deal enough damage to the shield, it just goes straight through. Unless it's because we have piercing. I'm not entirely sure on that one. All I know is they are dying. I want to pick up that health. We're whopping 4 health. Totally worth it. Okay. At the moment, we're actually doing pretty well. Oh, out of nowhere. A chuffing magnet. 30 base health, 10% force, 3 base block strength, 6% area. You know, I think it's time to get base health. Let's do it. Vanguard 1, 10% range, Swift Feet 3, 0.3 movement speed a second, Ring Blades, increase attack speed and cone size, or Ring Blades Ripping gives them crit chance. Let's give them a bit of crit chance. We like to spread the crit chance equally between all our abilities. Show them some love. If one's gonna crit, then you're all gonna crit. And hopefully we can get a good, what's the word? Not modifier, you know, we got for our lightning and for the needles, they changed how the ability works. Hopefully we can get something to do with crit damage for our rings. Like they do something on a crit. Either that or they just do way more damage. Like crit hit damage, that'd be nice. Lightning strike 6, 10% attack speed. We're going to get 20% pickup range, 20% damage on the phantom needles, and 10% force. Let's get attack speed on the lightning strikes. I feel like they're doing a great job at just holding back the enemies. We want to watch out for these mages. Because we can't deal with ranged attacks. I don't think you can destroy the purple skulls that come out. And that's probably the most dangerous thing. Crippling blades. As 2 projectiles per cycle. Additional blades can apply slow. Phantom Rift. When needles disappear, deal magic damage in area. Damage increases for each remaining piercing count, multiplied that by damage and crit bonus. I think we will go for the Phantom Rift. For sure. Let's see these explosions. Oh yeah. %10 damage, 10% range, 3 base strength, 6% area. We just want damage, don't we? Yeah. We're at level 50. Enter the Ember Grounds and rescue the Wellkeeper. That is the mission. Right. I don't believe that's this stage. I think that's a different stage we have to, in order to do that mission. Still got 10 minutes left to survive. M% crit chance. 0.2 health a second base regen. 20% damage on the phantom needles or 10% crit bonus. Let's get more crit chance. So that affects everything, not just our primary. Oh, is it going to be another boss? We did just hit the 10-minute mark. $1.5 million damage with the Phantom Needles. I think that upgrade is doing work. Feeling kind of like if Thor had a bow at the moment. Although enemies are getting close. Like, rather close. Okay, we need to get out of here. That's too close for comfort there. Movement speed. I think our movement speed is fine. 6% area, 3% base defense. Ring blade's big. Get more blade size and damage. I kind of want them to be absolutely ginormous. Oh, Enemies are getting too close. Okay. It's these little guys. The bane of my existence here. I feel like we've got the damage, we've just not got the area now. That's what we're really missing out on. Some health, a little bit of health. Not for me. A whopping 4 health from that cheese there. Okay, base health regen, 10% crit bonus, 10% blaze size, and 15% damage on the ring blades, or 10% force. I think we go for metabolism. We start speccing into regen so we can take hits. Because at the moment, I think our damage is good. Oh no. Oh wow. Okay, don't like that. Those purple skellies, they're a bit horrible. Oh. And they spawn behind you. Uh-oh. We are getting slapped around. Can we get another level? Lovely. Base health. Base block strength. Checks before defense. If the block value equals the unreduced damage received from an attack, the chance to block it is 50%. If the block value is 4 times higher than the damage, the chance to block it becomes, I presume it's like 100% maybe. Let's just get more health. Oh no. Wow. That's a lot of crap to be dodging. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, they're popping up behind us. We need to take this boss out, because it's going to be the end of us if we're not careful. Okay. Base defense. Think we got to take that over anything else. 6% area, 12% attack speed. This is all ring blade stuff. Yeah, we're going for base defense. It's projectiles that's getting us. Yeah. The damn projectiles. Oh, oh, oh. They're really fast. No. No. Come on, take the boss out. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now give us some good gear. Blood-soaked shirt on kill, 5% chance of +1 HP. Each kill charges increases damage with diminishing returns. Just straight up 15 base damage on this iron ring. Or Scars of Toil per 1 HP missing plus 0.1% damage. I think we go for the blood-soaked shirt here. Now, we desperately need to be on the lookout for a magnet, because there's so much XP on the ground. Base health, base block strength, 10% force, and 20% damage. Let's get 20% damage on the Phantom Needles. Need to carve a path out for us. The blood-soaked shirt is healing us like absolute mad, though. It is pretty damn good. I think we would definitely be dead without it right now. Come on. Enemies closing in on us from every corner. We kind of just have to run up, I think. Make a path through for ourselves. %% range, 10% crit chance and 10% area radius on the lightning strikes, 10% crit bonus. Just in general, are 15% blade size and 15% damage on the ring blades. Let's get these lightning strikes up. I think it's really helping us sort through this monstrous amount of enemies. Man, I would love a magnet. 10% attack speed on the Phantom Needles, or just 6% attack speed. 10% force. 0.3 meters a second base movement speed. I think movement speed is the way to go now. More than ever. We need to be preparing for the final boss. And that thing charges at you. And has huge AoEs that you gotta run out of the way of. We are healing back up. Honestly, that blood-soaked shirt, too damn good. $3 million damage with the Phantom Needles. Love to see that. 6% attack speed, 10% attack speed on the Phantom Needles, 12% attack speed and 5% cone size on the ring blades, or more base movement. I think we'll just go for general attack speed here with the quick hands. Feels like a good choice because it affects everything. What is this? Oh, this is the first time I've seen one of these. We got to kill enemies in range, do we? For a reward. What did we get? A token fragment. Not a clue what that is. Presume it's some sort of meta progression, maybe? Kill 20,000 enemies in one run. Brilliant. That's a whole lot of enemies. And just seeing all those numbers come up, it's kind of like a wave of numbers. It's really satisfying when there's a huge group of enemies and the arrows pierce through them all. Reach level 60. Plus 3 base defense, 10% attack speed on the Phantom Needles, 20% pickup range, or base movement speed. Let's get more base defense. I'm feeling it. I believe defense is just a flat reduction in damage. Yeah. Wow. I didn't quite realize how many slimes the big ones, like, spawn into. That was a ton. I think they just half and half and half, like 3 or 4 times. From 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16, maybe. Getting close to the boss. Still haven't found another magnet again yet. Ring blades, 12% attack speed and 5% cone size, 10% range, 10% attack speed on the Phantom Needles, or 10% force. Let's keep pumping into the Phantom Needles. I'm feeling that attack speed. Unfortunately, we haven't seen any more of the multi-strike. I don't know whether it's because we're getting unlucky or you need like a way higher level to get the next. Oh, hell yeah, we found it. That was the magnet we were looking for all along. Okay, base health regen, base block strength, more area or more movement speed. We're going for the health regen. Look at all that XP. Ring blades, 12% attack speed, 5% cone size, 20% pickup range, 0.2 health a second base regen, or big blades. I'm getting more health regen. Oh, there's so much. So much XP, it's beautiful. 20% damage on the Phantom Needles, 10% attack speed on the Lightning Strikes, 10% crit chance and 10% area on the Lightning Strikes, or 10% force. Let's get crit chance and area radius on the Lightning Strikes. I want to be critting on them bad boys. Still going, we're still leveling. 10% force, 10% range, 10% attack speed on the Phantom Needles, or 20% pickup range. Let's see. Still going. It's never ending. 20% pickup range, 10% crit bonus, 10% blade size, and 15% damage on the ring blades, and 3 base block strength. Let's get the crit bonus now, because that applies to everything. And another level. 6% area, 3 base block strength, 10% range, or more movement speed. I think we go for block strength here. But it's a bit of damage reduction. We're going to have to run through the almighty hell of slime there. Watch out for projectiles. When things hit us, they slap. 3 million damage with the lightning strikes. So our Phantom Needles are obviously doing way more damage since we got the 3 million damage a lot earlier. I wonder if it counts burning damage that the lightning does after they crit. 6% area, base movement speed, pickup range, and block strength. Let's get more block strength. I like the sound of that. Boss time, here he is. Alright, pal. See if we can't take you down this time. Thankfully, we've got that blood-stained shirt, so we're healing like pretty much well, literally every hit, I think. Or was it on kill? No, I think it was on kill with your heal. But we've got a lot of health regen. It's ticking. Ticking like a madman. Oh yeah, he doesn't stand a chance. Get out of here. Oh, okay. We only killed his mount. I think we want to stick in close for this guy and basically just circle him. Our movement speed's so good that we can avoid almost all of his attacks. Too slow, buddy. Way too slow. Defeat the Lord of Pain. And we got Torment Shard. You want to finish your run and leave the halls? Yeah. Level 68. Awesome. We got a lot of quests done, or achievements. Yeah, a lot of quests. Hell yeah. And that lasted pretty much bang on an hour. Wow. Alright guys, well, that's going to be it for today's video, but thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked what you see, then don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, you know, all the usual jazz. And yeah, I will catch you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.